You think your morning routine is just about coffee and checking emails. You believe success happens at the office, in meetings during those critical presentations. You assume the real work starts when you walk through those corporate doors. Wrong, dead wrong. Your future is being written in the first 60 minutes after you open your eyes. The most successful people on the planet share something peculiar. They wake up differently. They move differently. They think differently before the world demands their attention. Steve Jobs had his mirror ritual. Tim Cook starts his day at 4:30 in the morning. Oprah begins with meditation and gratitude. Mark Zuckerberg eliminates decision fatigue with identical gray t-shirts. What do they know that you don't? Here's the plot twist that changes everything. Success isn't built during business hours. Success is manufactured in the sacred silence of dawn, one deliberate action at a time. Your morning routine isn't just a collection of habits. It's your personal operating system, the invisible code that determines whether you'll thrive or merely survive another day. Think of your brain as a smartphone that's been charging all night. When you wake up, you have 100% battery life and unlimited processing power. But here's the catch. Every decision you make, every stimulus you encounter, every notification you acknowledge drains that battery. Studies show that we make approximately 35,000 decisions per day. The quality of your first decisions determines the quality of all the decisions that follow. Mess up the morning, and you're running on low battery by lunch. Your morning routine is like programming a computer before it goes online. You're installing the software that will run your entire day. The neuroscience is fascinating and terrifying. When you wake up, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, is fresh and ready to tackle complex problems. Your willpower reserves are full. Your ability to resist temptation is at its peak. This is your golden hour, your prime time for the behaviors that actually move the needle. But most people waste this precious window scrolling through social media, checking news headlines, and letting other people's priorities hijack their mental real estate. Research from Harvard Business School reveals that people with structured morning routines are 40% more likely to achieve their long-term goals. They report higher levels of life satisfaction, better stress management, and increased productivity throughout the day. The data doesn't lie. Your morning routine is the single most predictable factor in determining your success trajectory. It's not about talent, luck, or connections. It's about consistency in those quiet moments when nobody's watching. Let's decode the anatomy of a winning morning. The most effective routines follow a specific pattern, a blueprint that optimizes both mental and physical performance. First, successful people protect their sleep like it's their most valuable asset. They understand that quality mornings start with quality sleep. 7 to 9 hours isn't a suggestion. It's a requirement for peak cognitive function. Your brain literally cleans itself during deep sleep, flushing out toxic proteins that accumulate during waking hours. Skip sleep, and you're starting the day with a dirty windshield. The wake-up ritual is where the magic begins. High achievers don't hit snooze. They don't negotiate with their alarm clock. They understand that the first decision of the day sets the tone for every decision that follows. When you hit snooze, you're literally training your brain to delay important actions, to choose comfort over commitment. That 9-minute delay becomes a metaphor for how you approach challenges throughout your life. Successful people wake up like warriors, not victims. Hydration comes before caffeine. Your body is roughly 60% water, and after 7 to 8 hours without fluids, you're essentially starting the day in a mild state of dehydration. This affects everything from cognitive function to mood regulation. Drinking 16 to 20 ounces of water, first thing, kickstarts your metabolism, flushes out toxins, and signals to your body that it's time to perform. Coffee can wait. Water cannot. Movement is medicine. You don't need to run a marathon, but you need to move your body intentionally. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, releases endorphins, and activates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, essentially fertilizer for your neurons. Even 10 minutes of stretching, push-ups, or walking can transform your mental state. Your body and mind are connected by invisible cables. Move the body, activate the mind. The meditation revolution isn't just spiritual nonsense. It's backed by hard science. Regular meditation literally changes the structure of your brain, increasing gray matter in areas associated with attention, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. Companies like Google, Apple, and Goldman Sachs have meditation programs because they understand the competitive advantage of mental clarity. You don't need to sit in lotus position for hours. 5 to 10 minutes of focused breathing can rewire your nervous system for peak performance. Successful people feed their minds before they feed their bodies. They consume content that elevates rather than agitates. Instead of starting with news headlines designed to trigger fear and outrage, they read books, listen to podcasts, or review their goals. They understand that the first information entering their consciousness sets the emotional and intellectual tone for the entire day. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant in the morning determines what grows throughout the day. Planning and prioritization happen before the chaos begins. High achievers spend 5 to 10 minutes reviewing their schedule, identifying their top 3 priorities, and visualizing successful outcomes. This isn't just organization, it's mental rehearsal. When you clearly define what success looks like before you encounter obstacles, you're more likely to stay focused when distractions arise. Champions don't just hope for good days, they architect them. The breakfast question reveals everything about your relationship with delayed gratification. Successful people either eat strategically or practice intermittent fasting intentionally. They don't grab random pastries or skip meals entirely. They understand that blood sugar stability directly impacts decision-making capacity. Protein-rich breakfasts provide sustained energy without the crashes that come from processed carbohydrates. Your food choices in the morning predict your energy levels at 3 in the afternoon. Here's where most people fail spectacularly. They treat their morning routine like a suggestion rather than a non-negotiable system. They wake up and immediately check their phones, allowing other people's urgencies to determine their priorities. They start reactive instead of proactive. They begin defensive instead of offensive. This single mistake cascades through their entire day, leaving them feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and behind before they even begin meaningful work. The smartphone is the greatest distraction device ever invented. When you check your phone first thing in the morning, you're essentially handing control of your mental state to algorithms designed to capture and monetize your attention. Studies show that people who check their phones within the first hour of waking report higher stress levels and lower productivity throughout the day. The device you think is connecting you to the world is actually disconnecting you from yourself. Social media in the morning is psychological poison. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highlight reel before you've even had coffee. This primes your brain for inadequacy and FOMO rather than abundance and focus. Successful people protect their morning mindset like a fortress. They don't let random people's vacation photos or political rants contaminate their mental space during peak performance hours. The compound effect of morning routines is staggering. Small, consistent actions repeated daily create massive results over time. If you improve your morning routine by just 1% each day, you'll be 37 times better after 1 year. This isn't motivational mathematics, it's exponential growth in action. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and people who just dream about achieving is often found in those first 60 minutes after they wake up. Professional athletes understand this intuitively. They have pre-game routines that are identical whether they're playing in their hometown or across the country. Their success isn't determined by talent alone, it's determined by the consistency of their preparation rituals. Your morning routine is your pre-game ritual for the game of life. Every day is game day. Every morning is your chance to show up as the player you want to become. The science of habit formation reveals why morning routines are so powerful. Habits are neurological loops that consist of a cue, a routine, and a reward. When you wake up at the same time in the same environment, your brain receives a consistent cue to execute your routine. The reward comes from the sense of accomplishment and the positive effects throughout your day. Over time, these actions become automatic, requiring minimal willpower to maintain. But here's the brutal truth that productivity gurus won't tell you. Building a morning routine is like building muscle. It's uncomfortable at first. Your brain will resist change because it prefers the familiar patterns, even if those patterns are sabotaging your success. You'll have mornings when you don't feel like exercising, meditating, or planning your day. This is exactly when your character is being forged. Champions aren't people who feel motivated every morning. They're people who show up even when they don't feel like it. The flexibility paradox is crucial to understand. Successful people are simultaneously rigid about their core morning practices and flexible about the details. They never skip their non-negotiables, but they adapt the specifics based on travel, family obligations, or unexpected circumstances. If they can't do 30 minutes of exercise, they do 10. If they can't meditate for 20 minutes, they do 5. They understand that consistency matters more than perfection. Your morning routine is also a leading indicator of your self-respect. When you invest time in yourself before serving others, you're making a statement about your worth. You're saying that your physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being are priorities, not afterthoughts. This self-investment creates a positive feedback loop that influences how you show up in every area of your life. The ripple effects extend far beyond personal productivity. People with strong morning routines tend to have better relationships because they're more present and less reactive. They make better financial decisions because their prefrontal cortex is functioning optimally. They're more creative because they've created space for their minds to wander and wonder. They're more resilient because they've practiced discipline when it didn't matter, preparing them for moments when everything depends on their response. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're starting to see your mornings differently. The algorithm loves engagement, and I love creating content that actually changes lives. Your morning routine isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. Every morning you get to vote for the person you want to become through your actions. You can vote for the person who reacts to life or the person who creates it. You can vote for chaos or clarity, for distraction or focus, for mediocrity or excellence. The transformation begins tomorrow morning, but the decision starts right now. Your current morning routine got you to where you are today. If you want to go somewhere different, you need to start somewhere different. The most successful version of yourself is waiting in tomorrow's sunrise, but you have to show up to meet them. Your morning routine isn't just what you do, it's who you become. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. It's not about having more hours in your day, it's about making the hours you have count exponentially more. The research is clear, the examples are everywhere, and the opportunity is unlimited. The only question remaining is whether you'll treat tomorrow morning as just another day or as the first day of your upgraded life. What does your current morning routine say about your priorities? Drop a comment and let me know what you're going to change starting tomorrow. And if this video opened your eyes to the hidden power of your mornings, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're building a community of people who understand that success isn't luck, it's designed. Your morning routine is your blueprint. Build it wisely,